Hello everyone, this is Simply Syrup coming to you with another video today on a brand new game for the channel, Bear and Breakfast. This game is brand new and I've had a lot of fun on it, and today I wanted to share 11 tips that I wish I had realized sooner in my own playthrough. There is no doubt that after watching this video, you will be better prepared to take on Bear and Breakfast and run your own inn. But before I get into the video, I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you for giving my channel a try and encourage you to consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel, because we will be coming out with more Bear and Breakfast content soon that you won't want to miss. As always, timestamps will be available in the video description, but before I take up any more of your time, let's get into the video. So I've got 11 really great tips for you today to improve your own playthrough of Bear and Breakfast, and I can't wait to share them with you. We're going to be splitting these tips into 3 separate sections: building tips to help you maximize your build's comfort and decoration score, general tips that cover regular gameplay and how to get the most out of your time, and then we will be finishing up with guest-specific tips to make sure you are running your bed and breakfast properly. So let's jump into the video with our building tips. The first building tip we wanted to share today is to go for value. When deciding what type of decorations to add to your rooms, look for value in the decoration score first. You really want to try and get the most bang for your buck, and this is especially true for Took's shop. Some of the higher price items, while looking extremely cool, don't actually give that much decoration score than their lower price counterparts. I'm not suggesting you should cheap out on your rooms, but just keep in mind that more money spent doesn't always pay off to a better stay for your guests. After all, the game is all about keeping guests happy, so think of what they want when rummaging through Took's shop. For our next tip, I wanted to encourage you to place down the essentials first. The essentials in a bedroom are the blueprints you buy from the Shark's little van. Mainly a bed, a footrest, and a dresser. It is so important to put these in and not just decorations, because these are the objects that raise the room's comfort score. Remember to place down the highest level you have available and to come back to old rooms often and upgrade furniture. There's no better way to get your comfort score up and raise the rating of your hotel than to use the best furniture that you have available. The third tip I wanted to share with you today is more of a statement on the best decorations in the game. Since we just covered using your collectibles wisely and placing down essentials first, let me tell you the best type of decoration in the game. There is no doubt in my mind that if you want to raise the decoration score of your rooms to the max level, that floor and wall decorations are the way to go. The benefit of using floor and wall decorations is that it leaves your floor space open to place down more comfort items. Things like rugs can be placed under the other furniture, and this really allows you to maximize the space that you have available. Floor space is the most valuable resource in Bear and Breakfast, and by utilizing wall and floor decorations, you can help save a little bit of space while continuing to grow your decoration level. The fourth and final building tip I wanted to share today is to have a plan. When it comes to building a room, make sure you have a clear vision in mind of the whole house before starting. There is basically 2 ways you can go. You can pack guests in like sardines and try to maximize your profits, or you can leave lots of space for decoration in order to create a luxury stay for a guest. Whichever of these options you are going for is fine, just make sure you've chosen one and have a clear idea of what you're doing before you begin construction. Remember, you can always deconstruct a room for free and you will regain your whole investment. So the rooms you start out building can always be torn down later when you have better equipment and more decoration options. Moving on, let's get into some of the general tips that you can use to help maximize your playthrough. Tip number 1, and maybe the most important tip I wanted to give you today, is to pick up everything. Every map you go to, every quest you get sent on, every time you enter a new area, grab everything. Even if you don't know what it is, take it. Even if you think you have too much of it, take it. Even if it's too gross for your little bare paws to handle, take it. I assure you that you will need every possible resource you can manage to find in this game at some point. There is no exception to this rule. Take everything you can find 100% of the time. Moving on to tip number 6, follow the quest lines. Alright, this one is obvious in every game, but it's even more important in Bear and Breakfast. We're going to say there are basically two types of quests, story quests and upgrade quests. Upgrade quests are the ones that are notated by the blueprint and are used to increase the prestige and attract better customers to your humble inns. These quests are great for making more money, but I'm specifically talking about the story quest. Story quests normally have a character icon, and these are used to progress the game and open new areas of the map. The reason why these quests are so important is they offer the collectibles. Collectibles are gear items that drastically increase your playthrough potential, like the double bag space item or even the simple watch. Because of collectibles, the story quests are super important and should be completed as soon as possible. Tip number 7 is simply to sleep at night. I know some people will say that you need to spend all night collecting resources, but if you're following the tips we just went over, then you should have enough resources stockpiled away already. This tip is mostly for increasing your money while spending less time in the game. Gold is a super important commodity in Bear and Breakfast, and it's one of those things that you will never have enough of until you beat the game. To increase the amount of gold you are getting relative to the amount of time you spend in game, go to sleep every night and keep churning out visitors to your properties. Besides, you're skipping hibernation this winter, so you gotta get all that extra sleep in somehow. The next tip we wanted to go over is super important. Tip number 8, try and learn the map. This tip will only come with some time spent playing the game, but you should be proactively trying to learn where the best resource spawns are in every area you visit. Try to make a predetermined route to maximize the resources you can gather in every area. Just a simple loop you can make in every section that allows you to hit the big spots before doing whatever your objectives are. For example, whenever you go to area A24, you should always check the dump that was opened up by those little cute rats. This spot is a heavy spawn point for valuable goodies. I know this tip is only useful if you spend some amount of time in the game, but you should really try to focus up in the early game and get your scavenging routes down quick. Tip number 9, and the final tip in our general tip section, is to know when to use the bus stop. The bus is used for fast travel around the map, and you should construct the bus signs as soon as possible. However, you shouldn't exclusively be using the bus to travel. My reasoning behind this is that you will miss out on so many resource piles if you only take the bus. Sometimes it's simply better to use your 2 bare feet and travel the map the old-fashioned way. At least then, you will know that you aren't missing out any valuable goodies along the way. And the final tips we wanted to cover today, tips number 10 and 11, are guest specific. Tip number 10, only book 5 stars. Only book 5 stars when it comes to picking out guests to stay in your bed and breakfast. Only choose guests that you know will give a 5-star review. Never ever take a guest that has standards higher than the room you are trying to rent out in hopes of fixing the room before they get there. You will inevitably forget and end up with a bad review. Reviews are what makes the world go round. That's why you constantly hear me asking for likes on my videos. Oh, and by the way, you should like this video. And for our final tip today, tip number 11, book one-night stays. This tip is less about making money and more about completing quests. Most quests in the game involve having a certain number of guests stay in your hotels. Due to this, it makes the most sense to continuously book one-night stays in your rooms. I know it's a little more work, but if you want to progress through the game fast, this is the best way to do it. You will be required to check into each bed and breakfast every day, but you will burn through quests eventually, leading to better and higher paying guests staying with you. Well, it looks like that's all the tips that we have for today's video. But I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to whoever has made it this far. I really appreciate the support. I also wanted to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like for the video. Also, check the link in the description to my Twitch channel where we are playing the newest and best games daily. Thank you so much again for giving my channel a try. I hope to see you again soon. Until next time, this is Simply Syrup signing off.